What is up, guys? This is Astranox. In this video I'm doing a bunch of RTA and I'll be commenting through them. These are the stats of the heroes that I've brought along, and yeah, a lot of stuff I want to talk about, you know, picking phase, who I ban, because I don't show that stuff. I just want to have the clips rolling, and I'm offense based. I'm still on account number 1, and you know, I pushed to challenger. Now I'm considering, you know, pushing on my other accounts because I want to get, of course, the skin for F.O.O.L, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are in the same boat. There's only a few days left, so I have to manage my time properly, of course, and I also have to worry about the decay, right? That happens on account that already pushed on. So I'll have to manage all that stuff, but I'll be trying to hit master on all accounts. That shouldn't be hard. Pushing for higher than that really is mostly for getting the frame for champion. So, you know, I don't think I'm gonna have time to push for champion on all of my accounts, but yeah, we'll see what happens, right? So good luck with the pushing to everyone. Carrot, I mean, players are first picking Carrot where I'm standing in my ranking, and she's annoying, but I've been okay with dealing with her so far. I don't really have to ban her. I did ban her a few times. So what I pick, and well, let's talk about who I ban first. It's Landy. I just ban Landy. I don't want the enemy to have something like Carrot, Landy. Landy can be really tanky if she has stealth. I have a lot of heroes that are AoE based, so that damage is going to be slashed in half, and that's already really bad for me. And Landy can cycle real quick, especially the more buffs that you have, and she's all sorts of annoying, so I just ban her now instead of Arbiter Vigilant, because I don't ban RB because I have him, right? I have him built finally, so I do enjoy using him when I can actually use him. A lot of times the enemy is banning my RB. I try to bait the ban into another hero if possible, and as you might have noticed, my Briar Witch Seria is built on speed, so sometimes the enemy thinks, well, she's, you know, she's probably slow or something, built for damage, so maybe I can deal with him and I'm not gonna let her do her damage or something like that. But she's built super fast, so she goes first or second, and I'm able to cripple them really heavily with enable to be buff, debuff, attack, break, and when that stuff lands, and when I, of course, stripping their buffs. So a lot of stuff is happening with that skill 3 of hers, and it helps a ton. It helps a ton, and by having her with high speed, there we go, that's master right there. With having her on high speed, I'm able to just do that crippling effect straight off the bat, and sometimes I do bring a few speed memory imprints, which, you know, increases my chance of going first. So it seems to be working pretty well for me. But when I do bring her, it's when I will not bring super high offense on my team. In most cases, I do like to use her for crippling the enemy, and then I bring like Fallen Cecilia for some bulk, and she's on a bruiser build, so she can still deal some damage as well. And then I do have like Seaside Bellona in there, which is just so annoying, so dangerous, a big threat on the battlefield. They do have to worry about her, and you know, a lot of times they will bring Rowana, which I'll just end up banning, right? Like if I did manage to bring Arbiter Vigilant with me, I'm just, you know, I'm picking Seaside, and then, yeah, they're banning maybe RB, maybe they're banning something else, and I'm just banning their Rowana in quite a few cases. Politis, I have not been bringing her. I did pick her a few times while pushing further, like to, you know, champion and going higher, but I'm enjoying Rose. Rose has been really effective because, you know, attack buff is a 50% attack increase, and right there, you know, when you give attack buff to 2 damage dealers, that's like having a third hero, right? And she's a knight, so she can wear with Aureus, helps a lot to boost the survivability. She has quite a bit of defense. She doesn't have that much speed. Her base speed is garbage, so I didn't worry too much about scaling that super high when I could have my best speed gear on a hero that actually has good base speed. So Rose, not only the attack buff is great, but you know, the survivability increase. She's very bulky. That skill 2 with the, you know, that massive barrier can be extremely powerful. And the fact that she can remove 2 debuffs off of the ally that I target with and herself, and the barrier on the ally plus herself, yeah, with the damage mitigation of, you know, the high defense that she has, plus the defense buff on herself, the potential provoke, she has been quite effective, especially versus teams that, well, don't go super high speed. So I just pick her later on in the picking phase. And yeah, it seems to be quite effective. If I feel like they're gonna like outspeed me, what I do bring is, you know, some speed imprints, and it's working as well. So yeah, definitely like the fact that I invested into Rose, and she can definitely be used in PvE content as well. So definitely a worthy investment in terms of MolaGora. But it took me a long time to finally build her because of her garbage base speed. So to use Rose properly, you need to, yeah, use her whole kit and not like worry about going first with her, because that is not her main purpose, right? And yeah, by bringing 2 damage dealers with her, maybe you pick 3, 1 gets banned, and then you have 2 that are in the battle with attack buff. It works really well. And Rose with the Seaside has been extremely effective so far, but I picked them near the end because I don't want the enemy to start picking a bunch of Earth heroes. Sinful Angelica, I've been using her versus Maid Chloe, and that has been working well, right? Like, I've been managing to do enough damage and deal with their team before I lose the immortality on her, you know, revive counter mechanism. So it's important that you are able to manage that stuff, right? Like, before that goes down, because if they're holding that revive until your immortality goes off of Sinful Angelica, you could be in for a really bad time. So Assassin Sid, I've been using him for, I mean, he deals some pretty good damage, and I usually expect him to go first because I have some pretty solid gear on him. It took me a long time before deciding on actually building him, because I didn't have the offensive stats that I wanted, and I didn't have the speed I wanted. You know, the combination of high offense and the speed, it's really hard to actually gear for. So great attack buff here on RB. Oh my god, it's great when it happens to you, like when on your RB, but when the opponent gets it to trigger, that's it could be quite devastating, unless you got like a skill nullifier on the whole team because of F.O.O.L and the right timing and stuff like that. Or maybe you just built a super bulky team, but Arbiter Vildred still, you know, elemental neutral with great attack buff just deals a ton of damage, even versus teams that are quite tanky. But you can definitely make your team like super tanky, and even if he does get great attack buff, you can stabilize with some healing. And you know, Arbiter Vildred, it's great having him, because now, you know, I can just bait the ban, right? Like, they want to ban him because he's too big of a threat, so I'm able to let another hero through, which would have been banned if I didn't have Arbiter Vildred, if I couldn't pick Arbiter Vildred. So it's been good in that department, right? Even if like there's a hero that you can build and all that, like now everyone can get Arbiter Vildred. So that's also another thing. Like, if you don't pick him first, well, the opponent might pick him first if he fits their playstyle. But you know, he could be built tanky as well and be quite annoying to deal with and take down. And he's just gonna deal consistent damage to you. And when he goes down, he's coming back, man. And well, it depends which artifact he has on. Alexis Basquiat, Moonlight. I mean, yeah, and if they're lucky with you know, evasion on Moonlight, let's say, if he's built on counter set, 12,000, 15,000 HP. Yeah, there's all sorts of builds for Arbiter Vildred. You can check mine at the start of the video. So here, you know, they brought Sinful Angelica. They're like, man, he brought Arbiter Vildred, I'll bring Sinful in there. But my brother Wichiseria is super fast, and I was able to land and able to buff on their whole team. So that is really good, right? Because now Sinful cannot get the attack buff and speed buff on the rest of the team, and the immortality on herself, which is what allows her to counter, you know, revive mechanism And of course, you know, I had to get red attack buff and perfect timing with the seaside counter attack, landing defense break. Oh god, look at that. That was pure destruction right there. Oh man. So that was that's a cool team composition that has been quite effective for me. And you can see Rose has been in quite a few of my battles. And it's like I said, man, she's been, yeah, very helpful. So yeah. Now, Shuri, he was there to make sure that I go first because, you know, Solitaria of the Snow could have been quite fast. Her level wasn't, you know, she's not 6-star, so I'm like, they might not have the grace of gear on her, but still, I did decide to bring him. And the combination of Rose plus Shuri double combativeness pushers allow me to have slower hero or heroes follow after them. So that is good too, and Shuri I can use him versus teams that do have like even like a general Purgus. I can like get a higher combativeness push on my team compared to how much they're getting from their general Purgus, and he adds to the damage my team's dealing and might be enough in my whole damage combo initially to start to take out one or more opponents. So yeah, the speed imprints, you know, invaluable stuff, only a 4-star hero, and yeah, I told you guys to build Shuri a long time ago, and even if you don't really bring him in PvE content, you can still use him in PvE content, so there's that. And especially with auxiliary lots, man, with the spamming of skill number 2 with the artifact I forgot the name of. Yeah, attack break on Operator Sigrid, not enough damage to take out Arbiter Vildred. That is unfortunate for them. So yeah, as you notice, Carrot has been showing up in well, a lot of these battles, and of course in a lot of battles when you guys are doing some RTA, because she's just broken, right? Like they really pushed her to the top, and only a 3-star hero. That's good, right? Like that's good for players that, you know, don't have a ton of MolaGoras, so you can just like use Stigma, Catalysts, and just build a hero that is super meta, super effective. You know, meta stands for most effective tactic available. So yeah, Carrot has been good to a lot of players and allowed them to climb higher than they usually climb to. So yeah, if you don't have answers to Carrot, that could definitely be a problem. So you know, I've been using the Sergio Bazaar to deal with her. So that worked. If she's on Isla's Valen, she could strip the immunity if you don't have a barrier from Fallen Cecilia on your team to protect it. So that could be dangerous because you know, the burns are landing, and well, the damage definitely piles up, and every time you're attacking her, you're getting burned, and that stuff really hurts, man. Like, if you don't have any sustain, that can be a big problem. So she's definitely troublesome when you are when you don't have any sustain in your team, when you're offense based and they're tanky enough and they're staying alive, and she's just there and just applying a bunch of burns. Look at that, like it's so close. Look at the health of each of my heroes. Arbiter Vildred already went down as well. Now Seaside is ice, and I really like to use her versus Carrot, and I'm like, is she going to evade? Yes, miss right there. And look at this, beautiful, beautiful. Oh my god. If you're looking for an emulator, a new phone, or you're simply hungry, check the description of the video. Let us know about your experiences in RTA in the comment section. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. I'm Astranox. Good luck with all you do. Peace out for now.